Hello and welcome to the Edu Leaders Show on the Edu Bulletin, where we bring you the latest insights and trends from the world of education. I'm Jessica, and I'm excited to guide you through this episode. We have an esteemed guest joining us, Adarsh Anand, Area Business Head, Rajasthan, Next Wave Institute of Advanced Technologies, shared his insights at the 24th Education Summit. He highlighted significant gaps in engineering education in India, including outdated curricula, a lack of practical training, and insufficient job readiness. Now, let's move directly into our interview. Over to you, Rumani. Let's hear what Sir had to say.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have with us a very special guest. He is Mr. Adarsh Anand, Area Business Head, Rajasthan, from Next Wave Institute of Advanced Technologies. So, welcome to the summit, sir. And how's your experience being here at the 24th Education Summit in Jaipur?
It was really a very wonderful experience as such.
Mhm.
I mean, now the very first time I'm attending such meet,
Right.
and a lot of educationists from across Rajasthan and even outside Rajasthan have come
Mhm.
here, and it is good to exchange thoughts and share new ideas, and also to understand what strategies they are following and everything. That is a really nice experience for me.
Right, absolutely. So first of all, for the unknown, just tell us about what is Next Wave Technologies and what does it offer to the general educators.
Right. Okay. Next Wave Institute of Advanced Technology is India's first such organization, which has been brought up after coming together of 100 plus IITians,
Mm-hmm.
NITians, and top IITians.
Okay.
So what happens basically is it is India's such institutions that has been brought up by the students of top premium institutions. Actually.
Okay.
So our founders happens to be Rahul Atuluriji,
Mm-hmm.
who happens to be an alumnus of IIT Bombay.
Okay.
And following, we have Anupam Pedarlaji, who is
Mm-hmm.
an alumnus of IIT Kharagpur.
Okay.
And third one is Shashank Gujarlaji, who happens to be alumnus of IIT Bombay. Okay, so considering all these facts, actually, for the very first time, all the students when they came together, they were understanding what's the landscape of engineering in India, especially. We understood that a lot of students enter into engineering market. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, on a regular, on a yearly basis, every single year, close to 15 lakh students enter into engineering,
Right.
and close to 10 lakh students graduate as well. Okay, and as per the reports of Indian Staffing Federation of this year, what we have understood is close to 70 to 73% of students go jobless.
Okay.
When I say go jobless, I mean they do not
Hmm.
even have a single job opportunity in hand when
Oh.
they graduate.
Right.
Okay, and even if we dig down more, we can see
Mm-hmm.
like close to 20 to 23% of the students are in
Hmm.
that bracket where they are earning only 20,000 to 30,000 per month salary.
Right.
Okay, and these jobs are being done in cities like Chennai, Mumbai. I mean, IT hubs most probably,
Mm-hmm.
right? Try to understand. I mean, in this context, like 30,000 or 25,000 per month
Hmm.
at present cost of living, it is really
Right.
impossible to like even to
Doesn't even
like
cover the daily
daily
expenses.
expenses exactly, right? So we have understood, and
Hmm.
there are certain students. I mean, close to 1 to 2% of students who are
Mm-hmm.
able to crack jobs and that are high paid jobs.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so this is where we came into play. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
understood that there is something big wrong happening in this system, as
Hmm.
a result of which people engineering definitely happens to be one of the toughest course.
Right.
Students go through 12 years of formal education.
Hmm.
They give their best. Similarly, they go for 4 years of graduation, and they again it is a lots of
Hmm.
hardship, I must say. And after all these things, landing up in a job of close to 20 to 30,000 per month,
Hmm.
and or else going jobless. This is
Right.
definitely they do not deserve at all.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, what change does your organization make so that the students who are spending so much of their parents' money and time into getting graduated and not getting the required job? So, how does it your organization is making the impact?
So basically, after careful analysis, we have
Mm-hmm.
gone through the entire details. We have understood what the market is, and then we
Right.
started like it is a kind of reverse engineering, you can say.
Okay.
Like we realized that there are five major I mean lacuna,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to engineering curriculum in India. Okay, so the first thing happens to be the engineering curriculum. Okay,
Hmm.
if you see what happens is in the past 2 to 3 decades, there has been any change in the engineering syllabus at all.
Right.
if there is, I mean, even if AICT and other decision
Hmm.
making panels are changing some kind of syllabus in their things, the normal engineering colleges do not have the necessary infrastructure in order to implement those changes in their colleges.
Right, right.
As a result of which, what happens? Rote learning in engineering sector is at an all-time high as of
Hmm.
now.
Hmm.
I mean, it is peaking. So eventually, what happens is students are studying something. I mean, in simple
Hmm.
terms, if I explain you, it's like today in the moments, the world of smartphones, we discuss something regarding Nokia. I mean,
Hmm.
old version of Nokia machine,
Right,
right?
right.
I mean, we are talking about some technology which is uh, almost like
Obsolete.
20 years,
Hmm.
absolutely outdated as such,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So that is how the current curriculum is running. So we have covered, what we have done is we have reverse engineered the curriculum. We
Right,
have gone to all the industry experts of this time. We have
right.
met a lot of CEOs, CXOs of various organizations. Then we understood that what are the set of skills that you want to see in a candidate when you hire him or hire
Hmm.
her.
Hmm.
What are the things that you are going to check? And we understood that yes, these set of skills are being like on the, I mean, these are the prime requirements of that
Right, right.
of these organizations. Then we designed our curriculum in a way, so that happens to be India's first real time adaptive curriculum. Okay.
Okay, so you have a brick and mortar setup, or it's online, or how does it work?
No, no, it is completely an on-campus program. Okay,
Okay.
in which, I mean, physically student will be going
Mm-hmm.
to the classes and they will be attending the lectures. It is not an online mode, and it is completely a on-campus program completely.
Okay,
Right.
great.
So in this curriculum, what happens is it gives you the freedom. For instance, you enter engineering in the year 2025, suppose.
Right.
Okay, and you will be graduating in the year 2029.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In this due process of 4 years, okay, there would be definitely certain advancement in the technologies. So the technology that is relevant today might not
Hmm.
be relevant tomorrow. If
Absolutely.
not relevant, I mean, its requirement might not be that high in the year
Hmm. Hmm.
2029. My point is that, right? So, but what we will do is we will train the students, including the mentors from the top. I mean, top-notch IT trainers from all these top Mang companies. When I say Mang companies, it includes Meta, Amazon, and Netflix, Google, like all these organizations.
Right.
These are the ones who will be sending their IT trainers to the organizations, and these IT trainers train our students. Okay, so the first thing happens to be the curriculum. The second thing happens to be about its faculties. The faculties are not merely teachers. These
Mm-hmm.
are real time industry experts. I mean, these people have been engaged in developing products, online products, applications, websites, and all these things. So that gives the student a real time experience and
Hmm.
to develop a like mindedness in their things. Right, that happens to be the second part. The third part happens to be regarding the practical level of learning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know whether you are an engineering graduate or not, but you can means fairly relate this if you have some engineering
Hmm.
friends of yours. Like in the entire journey of 4 years, students hardly do some 2 to 3 to 4 projects at max,
Right.
right? As a result of which, what happens is the practical level of learning. When it comes to computer science and engineering, what is more important is more than theory, it is more about
Practical.
practical,
Hmm.
isn't it? You might be very, very knowledgeable in terms of books and all theoretical knowledge might be in
Mm-hmm.
your head. But what is the use if you do not know the
Apply.
basic skills on when it comes
Absolutely.
to application, right? So that is where it comes to play. So what we are doing is we have entirely made our campus paperless, right?
Okay.
Paperless campus, as in what? Like the students will entirely, their entire study process would be completely on a practical mode. Secondly, their examinations would not be on papers. Rather, what we have done is we have converted them into projects, right? Okay, in the 4 years duration,
Mm-hmm.
these people will be almost like getting engaged with 50 plus projects.
Okay, that's
Okay,
great.
50 plus projects, real time,
Hmm.
real world projects, I must say. So, as a result of which, many of our students, I mean, those who are only in the second year of their graduation,
Hmm.
they have already cloned applications like YouTube, Google, and Netflix, and all these top websites and applications. They have already successfully cloned these things.
Right,
So, that
right.
is in fact a very big achievement for us. And in fact, during their second year of graduation, these people are eligible to be placed in some organizations, looking at the skill set these people have technically, right? So that is the beauty of this thing. and that happens to be the third point regarding practical applications of concepts. And fourth thing is regarding ecosystem. Okay, if we consider regarding ecosystem, what happens is, I will give you a very good example on this. Like, how often do you find, you might have seen this medical colleges, right? Government medical colleges, private medical colleges. There is a scene that you might have observed. If there is a medical college here, the very next to it, it would be a government medical hospital would be associated with it,
Absolutely.
right?
Right,
So
right.
what happens is, when a student is studying, I mean, a person is pursuing his MBBS, eventually he is practicing medicines right away next door. He doesn't have to go somewhere else. In his daily life, he is interacting with doctors, real time doctors, and the persons who have already
He has
applied
that
medicines
kind of
elsewhere.
environment around him.
Correct, correct. But when it comes to engineering, imagine, like, we are sitting in the state of Rajasthan today. Okay,
Right.
a student studying in Rajasthan will never get a IT job in Rajasthan itself. They will
Right.
have to travel to Pune, Mumbai, or some other locations in order to pursue their
Absolutely.
jobs and other things. So as a result of which, the ecosystem is absolutely missing. The students won't be getting the real time experience of how, what are the nuances of IT sector, of software development, or any kind of such things. As a result of which, we have tapped on that as well. What we are doing is, we have the entire campus, the state of the art campus of NIET is in the midst of all this top notch bank companies, I must say.
Okay.
Right. So it is a works distance from Google, it's a works distance from Wipro, it's like a 2 meters distance from Amazon, and all this top notch giants, I must say.
So it is situated
In the heart of the city, Gachibowli,
Okay,
Hyderabad. Okay,
okay.
so this gives the opportunity to the students ki they interact with this industry experts on real time basis.
Right, right.
And what is the benefit of this is like, um, we have a very good saying, na? A person is known by the company he keeps. Okay, sit with five engineers, you will be the sixth. Sit
Right.
with five billionaires, you will be the sixth, right? The similarly, what happens is, if you discuss your things and if you interact with the people, like-minded people, definitely your work is going to be easier in the coming days, forthcoming days. That is
Right.
what we have done. And final point is regarding placements. We have already seen the current state of placements across India. I have given you the data,
Right.
needless to say, and everything was regarding the lack of skills and lack of practical learning. Since we have addressed these things, okay, when we have a properly designed curriculum, when we have proper uh, experienced faculties who have practical experience in hand, and if we provide them the right ecosystem, I don't think placement would be a very difficult task, because people outside are looking at you. Okay, yes, this organization is producing good raw talent, I must say. Like, people are ready made. We do not have to spend our
Train them.
lot of train and spend a lot of time in their provision. They will be easily be equipped with the necessary set of tools and techniques, right? So that,
Right.
yeah, that is where we are helping the students in placements as well.
Right. So how do you take admissions? Like, is there any criteria that students need to follow?
Yeah. So definitely, when so admissions is based on two different things. The first one happens to be psychometric test.
Okay.
Okay, psychometric test is a test basically in order to understand, like what is the perspective of the student regarding engineering. Why
He
at the
wants to
first
do
instance
that.
engineering.
Hmm.
Okay, because there are certain students who, because of the family pressure, they are
Peer pressure.
okay, peer pressure, they are
Yes.
opting for engineering. There are also instances in which they, like, since there was no such other option, let me try for engineering. They do
Right,
not have
right.
any idea why, means why are they into this,
Right,
this
right,
particular
right.
thing. So eventually, that is a lack of guidance, I must say. So we try to understand the mindset of the students first. Once that is done, then we try to counsel through our, there is a academic team who is sitting back at Hyderabad. They will be guiding the students. Then we have another test that is known as NIET aptitude test. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is usually conducted, I mean, online as well as on offline mode, and we make them appear the test, and based on that, we take students. Previous year, when we started, actually, we received close to 45,000 applications, out of
Wow.
which we could
So how many students you have
in
currently?
the, yeah, currently in the first, when we started in the year 2023, only 15 students we took on a pilot basis, first of all, to see whether the plan that we are going through, I mean, will that be successfully implemented or not. In the next year, then we started on a full-fledged basis. in which
Right.
we close to 1,000 students are there currently studying in Hyderabad campus of NIIT. And this year we have expanded our branches. We have branches in Chennai. We have one branch in Kannada, in
Karnataka.
Karnataka region, Bangalore
Mm-hmm.
basically, and we have another in Pune. And for Rajasthan, for the state of Rajasthan, we have collaborated with VGU, that is Vivekanand Global University.
Mm-hmm.
We will be leveraging their infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
Okay, the students will be going there and they will be taking classes, and we will be offering the entire
I
stuff.
really like the last part of collaborating with the existing universities, so
Correct.
that
Deemed to be universities,
deemed to be
yes, yeah.
universities, so that the existing environment can be improved, rather than
Yes,
getting new land and setting up new infrastructure. We can really improve the existing ones. So thank you so much for
thank you so
sharing
much.
your views,
Thank you so
and
much.
we are absolutely delighted to have you here.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this enlightening discussion. We hope you found it as insightful and inspiring as we did. Save the number 8534845670 and send "Hi" on WhatsApp for updates on the EduLeaders show, featuring inspiring interviews from the education sector.